How do northern Chinese families sleep through winter inside caves without freezing to death? Imagine homes carved into earth, icy winds outside, and nights that drop far below 0 degrees. No central heating, no modern insulation, yet generations survived in silence underground. What hidden techniques turned soil and fire into warmth when winter pressed hardest? Across the Loess Plateau of northern China, winter winds cut across bare hills, and temperatures drop well below freezing. For centuries, families answered this threat by moving underground. Their homes, known as yaodong, were carved directly into cliffs or built into hillsides, using the earth itself as protection against the cold. A yaodong begins with soil. Loess, the fine yellow earth common to Shanxi, Shaanxi, and Gansu, is soft enough to dig yet strong enough to hold shape when dry. Builders carve arched rooms deep into slopes, creating thick walls made entirely of packed earth. These walls can be several meters thick. That mass becomes insulation. Earth changes temperature slowly. While outside air may swing wildly between day and night, underground temperatures remain stable. During winter days, sunlight warms the cliff face and the surrounding soil. That heat is absorbed and stored. At night, when cold intensifies, the walls release warmth back into the living space. The result is a room that stays far warmer than the air outside, even without constant fire. The arched shape matters. Curved ceilings distribute pressure evenly and prevent collapse, but they also reduce cold corners where heat could pool unevenly. Cold air settles low while warmer air circulates gently through the space. With minimal exposed surface area, little heat escapes. Entrances are small and usually face south. This captures winter sun while blocking northern winds. Many homes add a short entry tunnel or hanging curtains to stop drafts from reaching the sleeping area. Once inside, the silence is noticeable. Wind disappears. Sound softens. The earth absorbs it. Living underground also blocks moisture. Snow and ice remain outside. Walls do not frost over. Bedding stays dry. This dryness allows quilts and heating systems to work efficiently through the night. Yaodong are not temporary shelters. Many last generations. Families expand them room by room, passing down spaces shaped by hand and habit. In winter, these cave homes feel less like hiding places and more like warm vessels holding life steady while cold rages outside. The true strength of northern Chinese cave homes lies in their walls. Loess, the fine yellow earth of the plateau, forms walls that are not thin barriers, but massive bodies of stored heat. In winter, this mass becomes the primary defense against freezing nights. Loess walls are often 1 to 2 meters thick. They are carved directly from hillsides or compacted into solid structures. This thickness matters. Earth absorbs heat slowly and releases it just as slowly. During the day, sunlight warms the cliff face and the surrounding soil. Cooking fires add more warmth from inside. Instead of escaping, that heat sinks into the walls. At night, when temperatures plunge, the process reverses. The stored warmth moves back into the room. Walls radiate heat gently, keeping indoor temperatures stable even as outside air freezes hard. Unlike thin walls that cool quickly, Loess resists rapid change. This stability protects sleepers from sudden cold shocks. Thermal mass also works with the Kang bed. As the heated platform warms the air, nearby walls absorb excess heat. When the fire dies down, both the Kang and the walls release warmth together. The entire room becomes a slow heating system, rather than a space dependent on constant flame. The texture of Loess helps too. Its fine structure traps air within microscopic gaps, improving insulation. At the same time, it breathes. Moisture from breathing and cooking passes through gradually, preventing condensation that would otherwise freeze and steal heat. These walls block wind completely. Outside, storms cannot penetrate. Inside, silence replaces gusts. Bedding stays dry. Quilts remain lofted and effective. Loess walls require no fuel and no maintenance in winter. Once built, they work every hour of the season. In northern China, sleeping safely through winter depends less on fire than on the quiet, patient warmth held inside the earth itself. Inside northern Chinese cave homes, warmth concentrates where people sleep. The Kang is a raised brick platform built along one wall of the yaodong, and it is the single most important reason families can rest safely through freezing nights. It is not furniture. It is a heating system built into daily life. The Kang is constructed from brick, clay, and stone. Beneath its surface runs a network of flues. When a fire is lit for cooking, smoke and hot air travel through these channels before exiting the chimney. As the smoke passes, the bricks absorb heat. By the time the fire dies down, the platform is warm across its entire surface. This warmth lasts for hours. Long after flames disappear, the Kang continues to radiate heat upward. People sit, eat, work, and sleep on it. At night, thick quilts are spread across the surface, trapping heat close to the body. Even when the air inside the cave cools, the sleeping area stays warm. The Kang changes how cold is felt. Heat comes from below, not above. Cold air settles lower while bodies rest on a heated surface that prevents heat loss through the back and legs. This is critical in winter, when cold ground can drain warmth quickly. Families sleep together on the Kang. Children and elders take the warmest spots near the center. Bedding overlaps to seal gaps. Clothing stays on. The platform becomes a shared zone of heat and safety through the night. The system is efficient. One fire serves multiple purposes. Cooking, heating, and sleeping are linked. Fuel is used once, but its heat is stored and reused over time. This matters in regions where wood and coal must be conserved. The Kang is simple, heavy, and reliable. No moving parts, no pipes, just fire, brick, and patience. In northern China, this platform turns earth homes into livable spaces, allowing families to sleep soundly while winter presses hard against the walls. In northern Chinese cave homes, heat is never wasted. The same fire that cooks meals also warms the space where families sleep. This integrated system links daily survival tasks into one continuous cycle of warmth, efficiency, and restraint. The system centers on the cooking hearth. When a fire is lit to boil water or prepare food, hot smoke and air are guided through hidden channels built into walls, floors, or beneath the Kang bed. These channels are carefully angled so heat travels slowly before exiting through a chimney. As it moves, brick and earth absorb warmth instead of letting it escape. This design turns short cooking fires into long-lasting heat. Even after meals are finished and flames die down, the stored warmth continues to radiate into the sleeping area. Families do not need to keep a fire burning all night. The structure itself does the work. The system demands careful control. Too strong a fire overheats the Kang. Too weak, and the heat does not travel far enough. People learn to judge fuel by sound, smoke color, and the feel of the platform under their hands. This knowledge is passed quietly from one generation to the next. Fuel efficiency matters in regions where wood and coal are limited. One fire achieves multiple goals. Food is cooked, water is heated, beds are warmed, walls absorb heat, nothing is wasted. This integration shapes daily rhythm. Cooking happens at specific times, so heat peaks before nightfall. Evening meals are planned not just for hunger, but for warmth. In winter, timing is as important as fuel. The system also reduces smoke indoors. Channels pull exhaust away from living space, keeping air cleaner and bedding dry. This improves health and comfort through long months indoors. By linking fire to sleep, northern Chinese cave homes transform necessity into design. Heat follows life's routine, flowing from kitchen to bed and carrying families safely through winter nights. In northern China, the direction a cave home faces is never accidental. Entrances are almost always oriented toward the south. This single choice plays a major role in keeping homes warm through winter. Cold winter winds in this region blow mainly from the north and northwest. By facing the entrance south, families shield their homes from direct exposure to these winds. When icy air cannot rush straight inside, indoor temperatures stay far more stable, especially at night when fires burn low. Sunlight matters just as much. In winter, the sun stays low in the southern sky. A south-facing entrance allows sunlight to reach deep into the cave during the day. Stone, brick, and low-S walls absorb this solar heat slowly. By evening, that stored warmth begins to release back into the room, adding precious degrees when outside temperatures fall. Many cave homes include a small courtyard or open space in front of the entrance. This area warms in sunlight and acts as a buffer zone. Cold air slows before reaching the main room. Curtains or wooden doors add another layer of protection once the sun sets. This orientation also improves daily life. Daylight enters naturally, reducing the need for lamps. Bedding can be aired in sunlight. Moisture dries faster, keeping quilts and clothing warm and effective. South-facing entrances cost nothing to implement, yet they save fuel every day of winter. They show how careful observation of wind and sun became architecture. In northern China, sleeping safely through winter often begins with simply turning the home in the right direction. Northern Chinese cave homes' openings are kept small for a reason. Every gap is a potential path for heat to escape. During winter, limiting these openings becomes essential for surviving cold nights. Yadong typically have only one main entrance and very few windows. When windows are present, they are small and set deep into thick walls. This design reduces the surface area through which heat can be lost. Glass, even when covered, loses warmth far faster than earth or brick. Smaller windows slow that loss. At night, windows are covered with layers of protection. Wooden shutters, thick cloth, or paper screens block drafts and trap warm air inside. Some families add extra quilts or straw mats during severe cold. These coverings are removed during the day to let in light and air, then replaced before evening. Entrances are treated the same way. Doors fit tightly into frames, and heavy curtains hang behind them. When the outer door opens, cold air does not rush directly into the sleeping area. Instead, it is slowed and absorbed by layers of fabric. Limiting openings also protects moisture balance. Cold air carries little humidity, but warm indoor air does. Large openings allow moisture to escape and walls to cool too quickly. Smaller openings help maintain a stable interior environment where heat and dryness work together. This design affects how people live. Rooms are darker, quieter, and more enclosed in winter. Families adapt by arranging activities around daylight hours and central heating areas. Comfort comes from stability, not brightness. Minimal openings may feel restrictive, but they serve a clear purpose. In a cave home, warmth is precious. By reducing escape routes for heat, families ensure that the warmth they create stays with them through the night. In northern Chinese cave homes, the entrance is the weakest point in winter. Even with thick earth walls, cold air can slip inside each time the door opens. To stop this, families rely on heavy curtains and door hangings that turn a simple doorway into a layered barrier against the cold. Behind the main wooden door, thick cloth curtains are hung from rods or ropes. These are often made from quilted cotton, old blankets, or layered fabric sewn specifically for winter use. When the door opens, cold air is slowed by the curtain instead of rushing directly into the living space. Once the door closes, the curtain seals the gap and traps warm air inside. Some homes use multiple layers. An outer door blocks one. A heavy curtain absorbs the cold. An inner hanging stops drafts from reaching the sleeping area. This layered system mimics the insulation of walls using simple materials that can be repaired easily. At night, curtains are adjusted carefully. Edges are weighed down or tucked into grooves in the doorway to prevent movement. In extreme cold, extra quilts or straw mats are added temporarily. These coverings are removed during the day to allow light and air to enter. Curtains also help control moisture. Warm air carries humidity from cooking and breathing. Without a barrier, moisture would escape too quickly, cooling the room and weakening insulation. Curtains slow this exchange, keeping indoor conditions stable. This practice shapes daily habits. People move deliberately through doorways. Children are taught to close curtains immediately after entering. Small routines protect warmth more effectively than constant fire. Curtains and door hangings are simple, low cost, and flexible. They require no fuel and no permanent construction. In cave homes, where warmth depends on holding every bit of heat, these soft barriers quietly protect families through long winter nights. When the fire tsunami fades and the Kang begins to cool, sleep still has to last through the coldest hours of the night. This is where bedding takes over. In northern Chinese cave homes, thick quilts and cotton layers become the final line of defense against winter. Cotton-filled mattresses are placed directly on the heated brick platform, so warmth rises into the body instead of escaping into the air. Cotton is dense but flexible, allowing it to trap air even when pressed flat. Over this base, families layer multiple quilts, building insulation piece by piece rather than relying on a single heavy cover. Older quilts are valued most. Years of use soften the cotton and improve its ability to hold warmth. During severe cold, padded jackets or extra blankets are added on top. Nothing is ornamental. Each layer exists to slow heat loss. Families sleep close together under shared quilts. Body heat builds beneath the covers and stays trapped through the night. Children and elders are positioned near the center, where warmth is strongest. Feet and shoulders are sealed carefully because small gaps can drain heat fast. Daytime care matters. Quilts are aired when the sun reaches the entrance, drawing moisture that would otherwise steal warmth at night. Damp bedding is dangerous, so it is watched closely. By the time darkness returns, the Kang, the quilts, and the bodies beneath them form a single system. Fire starts the warmth. Earth holds it. Bedding keeps it alive until morning. In northern Chinese cave homes, people do not sleep on the ground. They sleep on the Kang, a raised platform built specifically to separate the body from cold earth. This difference is critical. The ground draws heat away faster than cold air, and sleeping directly on it would drain warmth through the night. The Kang stands above the cave floor, usually built from brick and clay. Beneath its surface runs a network of heating channels connected to the cooking fire. When the hearth is used, heat travels through these channels and warms the entire platform. By evening, the surface is comfortably warm and ready for sleeping. Raising the body changes how heat behaves. Cold air settles low, but the Kang stays above the coldest layer. Heat stored in the bricks rises directly into bedding and bodies instead of being pulled downward. This prevents the back, hips, and legs from losing warmth, which is where heat loss often becomes dangerous. Sleeping on the Kang also concentrates warmth. Families sleep together on one platform rather than spreading across the room. Bedding overlaps, and shared body heat builds under quilts. The platform becomes a single warm zone that stays stable through the night. The height of the Kang is deliberate. It is high enough to escape ground chill, but low enough to remain in the warmest air inside the cave. This balance was refined through generations of trial and error. During the day, the Kang is used for sitting, eating, and working. This keeps it warm even before the fire is lit in the evening. The platform absorbs heat from both activity and sunlight entering the cave, adding to its stored warmth. Sleeping on raised heated surfaces is not a luxury. It is a precise response to cold earth and limited fuel. By lifting the body onto a warm, solid platform, northern Chinese families ensure that heat stays where it matters most, carrying them safely through winter nights. In northern Chinese cave homes, warmth at night is not an individual matter. It is shared. Families sleep together on the Kang because body heat is one of the most reliable resources they have during winter. The Kang is wide enough to hold several people at once. Parents, children, and sometimes grandparents sleep side by side under shared quilts. This arrangement is intentional. When bodies are close, heat loss slows. Warmth builds beneath the bedding and stays trapped for hours, even as indoor air cools. This shared sleeping reduces the need for extra fuel. Instead of heating multiple beds or rooms, one heated surface supports everyone. The Kang stays warmer longer because the combined body heat reinforces the stored warmth in the bricks. Fire starts the heat. People help maintain it. Placement matters. Children and elders sleep near the center, where warmth is strongest and drafts are weakest. Adults sleep toward the edges, acting as buffers against cooler air. Quilts overlap so there are no gaps. Feet and shoulders are sealed carefully because exposed skin loses heat quickly. Shared sleeping also improves safety. If someone becomes too cold or uncomfortable, it is noticed immediately. Breathing, movement, and warmth are felt by others nearby. In long winter nights, this awareness matters. The practice shapes daily rhythm. Bedding is arranged before sunset. Fires are timed so the Kang reaches peak warmth by night. People settle in together, reducing movement that would let heat escape. This is not crowding. It is efficiency shaped by climate. In a place where fuel is limited and cold is relentless, sharing space means sharing survival. By sleeping together on the Kang, families turn individual warmth into collective protection. Heat is conserved, monitored, and sustained through human closeness. In northern China's winters, shared sleep is not just tradition. It is a practical response to cold that works every night. Even in winter, sunlight plays a quiet role in warming northern Chinese cave homes. Families do not rely on the sun for comfort in the moment. They rely on it for what comes later when night pushes temperatures down. Cave entrances are positioned to let low winter sunlight reach deep into the interior during the day. As light strikes the low-S walls, brick surfaces, and Kang platform, heat is absorbed slowly. Earth and masonry do not warm quickly, but they hold on to what they receive. This stored warmth becomes noticeable after sunset. As outside air cools, the walls release heat back into the room. The change is gradual, not dramatic. There is no sudden chill. The cave stays stable while temperatures outside fall sharply. Families plan daily routines around this effect. Doors are opened during sunny hours to let light enter. Bedding and clothing are moved to sunlit areas to warm and dry. Once evening approaches, entrances are closed and curtains drawn to trap the accumulated heat inside. The Kang benefits as well. Sunlight that reaches the platform adds to the heat stored from cooking fires. Together, solar warmth and fire warmth extend how long the platform stays comfortable through the night. This passive heating costs nothing. It requires no fuel and no labor beyond opening and closing a door at the right time. Yet over an entire winter, it saves a significant amount of energy. Solar storage also improves comfort. Warm walls reduce condensation. Bedding stays dry. Indoor air feels less harsh than outside cold. Daytime sunlight is brief in winter, but in cave homes, every hour counts. By turning light into stored heat, families stretch warmth beyond daylight and carry it quietly into the night. Winter cold in northern China is severe, but it comes with one advantage. The air is dry. This dryness plays an important role in making cave homes warm enough to sleep in. Low humidity changes how heat behaves. Dry air holds less moisture, which means less heat is lost to evaporation. Inside cave homes, warmth stays longer because it is not constantly being pulled away by damp air. Earth and brick can absorb and release heat efficiently without becoming chilled by moisture. Low-S walls benefit especially from this condition. In humid climates, thick earthen walls can become cold and clammy, weakening their insulating value. In northern China's dry winters, the walls remain firm and dry. Heat stored during the day, or from cooking fires, stays locked in the structure instead of leaking away through moisture. Dryness also protects bedding and clothing. Quilts, cotton layers, and padded jackets stay lofted and effective. When materials remain dry, they trap air better and insulate more reliably through the night. Damp bedding collapses and loses warmth. Dry bedding keeps its structure. Ventilation becomes easier as well. Small openings can be cracked briefly without letting moisture flood the room. Smoke clears quickly, and walls do not absorb water from the air. This balance allows families to manage air quality without sacrificing warmth. The dry climate also reduces frost inside the home. Condensation is minimal. Walls do not ice over. Sleeping surfaces remain stable and comfortable instead of turning cold and slick. This advantage is subtle, but it matters every night. The effectiveness of earth walls, Kang beds, and layered quilts depends on dryness. In northern China, the climate itself supports these systems, allowing simple materials to perform at their best and keep families warm through winter. Northern China shows how earth, fire, and routine turn cold into something manageable. But caves are not the only answer to winter. Far beyond the plateau, families sleep under canvas and felt as temperatures plunge even lower. How do Mongols survive the night in tents without freezing to death?